Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Um, my name is Catherine LeViscount, and I am a partner manager at Facebook. I work with Hawk Media, and today I'm here to talk to you all about discovery commerce and social commerce in our current landscape. In order to understand where we are going, we need to start with where we've been. So I want to ground us in the evolution of commerce really quickly throughout history. For hundreds of years, shopping and buying was a relationship initiated by a person's need and fulfilled by a shopkeeper's experience. A shop in a traditional store, the owner would and could offer highly personalized recommendations, create a unique store experience that allowed for moments of discovery and allowed for a simple exchange of payments for goods and services. Early e-commerce experiences tried to replicate this personalization, discovery, and seamless shopping of the in-store experience online. And we definitely saw some success. When e-commerce first emerged, it was perceived as experimental. Both marketers and people were initially slow to adopt this channel, but we all know what's happened since. It's been a slow and steady climb towards e-commerce. And then 2020 happened. Due to the pandemic, everything has moved online. School, healthcare, entertainment, and e-commerce changed from just being a convenience to actually being a lifeline for people. Some of the key shifts we saw in shopping behavior include things like the rise of buy online, pick up in store. I know this is one of my favorites. Stores have become fulfillment centers, with click and collect being very prevalent in our shopping culture. Of those surveyed in the US, people are increasingly preferring shopping online over shopping in store and are leveraging this option. We're also seeing more shopping on mobile. As consumers migrated more of their physical needs online, mobile spend hit new heights. We saw $143 billion in sales and over 20% year-over-year growth. We're also seeing an increase in virtual product visualization and online consultations, being able to see things in your space without ever leaving the comfort of your home. And we're seeing many live stream shopping experiences. Coresight Research predicts that live stream shopping events in the US will generate $25 billion in sales by 2023. And this is already a big business internationally. And while the shift is dramatic, it's not unexpected. It's just a little bit earlier than we thought it was going to be. And it has fundamentally changed the way shopping happens. People have moved from going shopping to always shopping. And that's why it's never been more important to know your customer and anticipate their needs. We're seeing a shift in consumer expectations, particularly around product discovery, immediacy, personalization, and safety and security. How people discover products has changed. Rather than going to a physical store, people and brands are sharing and discovering products all day, every day on social media platforms. 52% of online brand discovery happens in public social feeds. People's expectations around convenience have also changed. They expect immediacy. In many ways, it's never been easier to buy something. Anything can be purchased anytime. And because people have come to expect a quick and easy experience, they'll leave if they don't get it. Cart abandonment accounts for at least 50% of attrition from your purchase funnel, costing e-marketers around $2 to $4 trillion a year. Mirroring the history of in-store shopping experiences, people want that personalized experience just from their homes. 91% of consumers say they're more likely to shop with a brand that offers recommendations and promotions that are relevant to them. And lastly, when people shop online, they want to know that their payment information will be kept safe. Globally, 65% of online shoppers express extreme concern about data privacy, and 1 in 2 people say they pay more for products with assurances of quality and safety. And with more options than ever before, 84% of US shoppers will bring their business elsewhere if they've had a poor experience. For businesses, it's not only possible to meet the expectations of today's consumer, but thrive while doing it. Businesses who are already doing this today recognize that the consumer journey starts well before intent. Businesses who are doing this effectively have seen that they need to invest not only in their traditional e-commerce strategies, where people find products that they're searching for, but also in creating opportunities across platforms and products, and allow for people, products to find people through what we call discovery commerce. So to dig a little bit deeper into discovery commerce and e-commerce as a partnership, let's look at how different channels can support these goals. So social platforms, where the experience are centered around people and inspiration, or where businesses have built community. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest are now making shopping features part of the larger experience. And platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest are where things like serendipitous discovery and inspiration take place. Meanwhile, we have platforms like Google, Amazon, and other marketplaces focused on e-commerce, where they're really optimizing around product and selling as efficiently as possible. And these businesses have started to integrate more social features to bridge that gap between discovery and search. Discovery commerce brings joy and delight to online shopping, and it enables businesses to go one step further than they can with their other marketing, not just meeting customers' needs, but anticipating them. So, how do we turn discovery into demand? There are many paths for digital discovery today, but no experience comes close to the quality, efficacy, and scale powered through Facebook. When it comes to discovery commerce, it's both the Ford and the Tesla, the category inventor and innovator. Of weekly users of Facebook platforms surveyed in the US, more than 74% who discover new brands or products online typically discover on a Facebook platform, compared to 55% via search, 43% via e-commerce channels, and 41% via a brand or retailer website. And we're finding that these discoveries are leading to purchases. Of online shoppers surveyed in the US, 86% ultimately purchased a fashion, beauty, furniture, or consumer electric product that they discovered on the Facebook platforms. So, how can businesses leverage these platforms to drive this discovery and purchase? At Facebook, we are approaching this opportunity through a framework that we're calling discovery commerce. So to make the most of our enterprise suite of DR and commerce products, it's about investing in 4 key areas. Personalizing your campaigns through a strong media setup and signals resilient strategy. Inspiring strong creative and customer experience delivered on engaging and dynamic surfaces. Converting and retaining your customers by optimizing their path to purchase, and the different ways that they can interact with your business and serve those business goals. And finally, through learning and optimization, continuing to drive and understand what's working and what's not, and optimizing based off of that performance. So let's take a look at each of these in greater detail, starting with personalization. Personalization means driving an experience that feels tailor-made to the individual, be it in the choice of imagery or a specific offer based off of past shopping behavior. Giving your ad a better chance at grabbing potential customers because the content is relevant to the person. According to a 2019 McKinsey report, personalization has been shown to drive up to a 15% increase in revenue and a 10 to 30% increase in marketing spend efficiency. Facebook has automated tools that allow you to create that personalization. So let's dig a little bit deeper into how we actually personalize these experiences. The Facebook algorithm and machine learning create personalization, and it's fueled by 2 things: what we understand about our community and what you understand about yours. Facebook is built for relevance because it enables people to follow their interests. Of online shoppers surveyed in the US, 80% use Facebook to follow and share their interests. But you also know your customers, and that knowledge goes a long way to reaching the right customers who are going to be most valuable to your business. So inputting and using the data that your customers have elected to share can be one of the most efficient ways to help your investment flow to the best customer. And machine learning and automation are the magic, the special sauce that creates that moment of serendipity for people, including new and unexpected audiences who are most likely going to love your business, but maybe you haven't been targeting before. For businesses who have historically marketed to audiences based off of very specific user profiles, it can feel really uncomfortable to give up control. But if you're still primarily marketing based off of super granular targeting, you might be missing out on some of this amazing discovery and missing out on loyal and long-lasting customers. Many of our advanced advertisers on the platform are using this machine learning algorithm to reach the right person with the right message at the right time. And just as people expect products and services to be tailored to them, they also expect that businesses deliver interesting and engaging creative that feels tailor-made for the surfaces and environments that they're experiencing it in. And more than ever, this means that they want experiences that are mobile first. A lot of times when we talk about mobile first, we think it's just something that shows up on a screen, but it's more than that. It's about building ads that feel right for the space, taking up as much real estate on screen as possible, making it easy for users to interact, keeping it short when it's the right time and long for the right spaces. Because what was once considered the second screen is now the main screen. In Q1 2020, 95% of US internet users owned a smartphone, where only 77% owned a desktop or laptop. And in 2020, people spent an average of 4 hours and 30 minutes on their phone daily. That's plenty of time for you to capture attention with the right creative at the right time. Our Facebook platforms and products help streamline each stage of the user journey, and using a mixture of all of them can capture intent at every stage. During the discovery phase, people can easily find products through dynamic ads featuring your product catalog, product tags on ads or organic posts, or through live broadcast videos or through influencers. People can easily browse, research, and learn more about products on organic Instagram or Facebook pages, or by connecting with businesses through click-to-messenger ads. And when it's time to check out, people can seamlessly brought to the product page on your website, or to check out through commerce solutions like Instagram Checkout that are currently in testing. The key to the success of the discovery commerce system is that testing and learning is happening throughout the process. Facebook measurement unlocks the potential to optimize your ads, understand your audience, and grow your business. And like all the best in-store experiences, optimization is happening continuously. Think about how often you go to the same store and things are constantly moved around, different products are being featured, or there's a new window display that catches your attention. You should be thinking about your digital ads the same way. And based on how people interact at each stage of the shopping process, allow the algorithm to optimize to connect with more of the right people and to deliver creative in the format that's the most engaging, to move them towards purchase, and to ensure that your efforts and ad dollars are being spent the most effectively. So, taking a look at all of the different tools in your toolkit, when we look at discovery commerce, it's about picking and choosing the right options for your business. While we have a number of different options, it's all about freedom and flexibility based off of your business goals and outcomes. So whether that's implementing things in the fundamentals, like having your pixel set up, having conversions API set up, making sure that you have those custom audiences, that you understand who your current marketing efforts are going towards, and then also being willing to test out new things, like potentially just going broad and seeing who else may show interest. Creating moments for efficiency, so opting into as many placements as possible, creating creative that fits each placement. All of that comes into play when looking at some of the fundamentals of that initial toolbox. But we also have a number of different commerce solutions that we'll dig into even further in a minute. But I wanted to call out that shopping can also happen on the platform, and really just make the process seamless for consumers. Always make sure that you're testing and scaling your strategies, figuring out what works, and being willing to test and iterate as needed. So now let's dig into some of those specific commerce solutions that I mentioned. So we've already been investing in commerce over the last few years, but we've got so many exciting things coming for the future. So today, our personalized ad model drives shopping and discovery from our apps to either a website's business or an app, or even now directly on the Facebook and Instagram platforms, which is currently in testing. Now and over the next 2 years, we're doubling down on these solutions. We're making it easier for people to shop products that they love in the moment. And we are testing solutions like live shopping and on-platform checkout. And the great thing about the discovery commerce solutions is that a lot of them are readily available within the Ads Manager platform. So when you're thinking about some of those fundamentals, like choosing the right placements, like making exciting creative, using ads with product tags, that's all available features. Those are all available features within the Facebook Business Manager and Commerce Manager and Ads Manager. So while some of these are still in testing, once they get rolled out, you'll have access to them there as well. And then in the future, we're continuing to reimagine online shopping. We're going to continue to look and understand to see what behaviors are driving consumer purchase across platform and make shopping feel more frictionless and human. Through the ways you personalize your campaigns, by inspiring through creative that drives results, through using collaborative ads to sell products through retailers, or simply just having a great testing and iterating strategy, businesses can expand their reach, drive higher consideration, and eventually create purchase and a loyal, lasting relationship with their consumers. And so as our world moves at a pace that's unprecedented, to use the word of 2020, discovery commerce is a marketer's biggest opportunity to meet consumers where they are and stay ahead of the pack. And so with that, I'm going to answer some of the questions that I see coming through in the chat. So one of the questions is around signing up for the Discovery Commerce program. So as I mentioned, the beauty of Discovery Commerce is that it's readily available because it's a framework. And so you do get to pick and choose the elements of Discovery Commerce that are really going to maximize your growth and potential. I would say, as you're thinking about which solutions to start with, first and foremost, make sure you have your signals really strong. So have the pixel set up, turn on Conversions API. So that way we can get as much information about your consumer that they're willing and ready to share to help inform our ad delivery. Secondly, if you have a number of physical products, set up a product catalog. Not only can you use that for dynamic ads, but you can also use it for a lot of our shopping solutions like ads with product tags or just regular product tagging on Instagram. And it will set you up for any future rollouts because a lot of our commerce solutions are going to be catalog based. And then the biggest thing with creative is think about what's going to stop your thumb, especially if you're in the target audience. If you were scrolling through Instagram and scrolling through the over 300 feet of content that everyone goes through every single day, would that be enough to stop you? And if the answer is no, think about what are some of the ways that it could be more engaging, whether it's short form GIFs or videos, or just more beautiful product creative that feels really authentic to the Instagram platforms. One of the other questions I received is around connecting with the consumer on a personal level beyond just the algorithm. And so a lot of that does come down to first understanding what might resonate with them, understanding what you're putting out into the world, and seeing if that's going to be something that they are ready to connect with. But beyond that, and there's a follow-up question on. Yeah, so the question is, can you share some insight on follows from ads rather than purchases? And so while, organic profile following can be really helpful in building community with people, it's not going to necessarily always be the driver that's going to lead to purchase or reach. And so it's about having a consistent, I'm going to call it a brand identity across your organic and your paid channels. So that way, if someone sees your ad and does decide to follow you, they're going to have a consistent experience once they get to that organic channel. Similarly, if they're following you on organic and they see something on paid, whether it's an ad to drive them to purchase or watch a video or whatever the action is that you're looking for in that ad, it's about creating that consistency so that it feels like it's coming from the same brand. Typically, as we look at success in performance, follows from ads aren't going to be our starting place when it comes to is the ad successful, because a lot of times follow, click, share type of behavior while great for understanding organically how people are engaging with content, doesn't actually indicate purchase intent or a desire to move down the purchase funnel. And so it is important to understand what is the role of each, organic versus paid, when you're thinking about creating your content and creating your brand presence across social. I will say that a lot of our commerce solutions, we do test on organic first, just to make sure that it's something that consumers are willing to engage with before we allow businesses to put paid support behind it. So while there is a connection, it is important to distinguish between what is the role of organic versus what is the role of paid across Facebook and Instagram. Other question is, how do you clean up the experience back and forth between search and eCom platforms? That's a great question. And it's something that is going to take some testing and iterating. I think the biggest call out is making sure that the experiences, no matter where they're happening, are as frictionless as possible. Because the path to purchase isn't linear, as we all know. Wherever someone is in the purchase journey, we need to make sure that that it's clean, not only from what signals can we share and what we can't, which we are all going to be limited based off of what is possible within cross-platform sharing. But regardless of where someone is in the purchase journey, it's important that they are able to as frictionlessly as possible complete a purchase. And so as we're thinking about going from, let's say, the Facebook platforms, Instagram, et cetera, to an offsite website, how is the load time? Is it dropping too quickly? How many clicks before the person can purchase the thing that they clicked on that they wanted to see more of? Understanding where there might be some user experience drops in the process can also help clean up that relationship between, what are they searching for? What are they getting to? How are they experiencing it on social? And how does it all come together? So one of the questions is around policy for specifically catalog products. And specifically, how can you make sure that you are going to be policy compliant when you're looking at products within your catalog? And this is really important, both from a just general advertising on Facebook, but also specifically for using our commerce solutions, because we do have both ad policies and commerce policies that it's really important that you make sure that you follow. The biggest thing is, first off, read the policy documents that we have online. And we have a whole landing page that goes through policy by policy with some really great examples of what is okay and what will not be okay based off of the different potential policies that your ads would fall under. The biggest call out that I would say specifically with the realm of commerce and discovery commerce is that we do have different commerce policies for what can show up in a catalog versus what can show up in like a dynamic ads catalog. And so in Commerce Manager, there's a little tab and it says channels, and it can give you a really good insight into whether your ad is or your product is okay to run on both commerce, like organic product tagging, for example, and in a dynamic ad or in the normal ad format. And so definitely I would recommend checking those out, seeing what policies maybe you're having trouble with, and then always reach out to chat support. They're going to be a great resource in hopefully pointing you in the right direction to make sure that your ads are policy compliant. Let's see, next question. How can you make up for the lack of cart abandonment opportunities that aren't possible when serving ads, for example? Okay, let me reread that question. So I'm hoping I answered this question, and if I don't do it justice, I apologize. So one of the biggest things that I think about when it comes to getting signals from across the funnel, where maybe there's cart abandonment at different stages of the process, it's all about what signals can you get at each stage. So when you're thinking about what's happening on the Facebook platforms, can you use things like video completion audiences to move people down the funnel, or landing page views? kind of taking someone from each step of the process through using signals. Sometimes, obviously, we don't have all of those signals. And so it's about retargeting where possible. And then trying to supplement with whatever on-site signals or like CRM lists, for example, that you can pull in to help supplement. So unfortunately, there's not always a perfect solve, but finding what are all of the different data points that we can use to supplement our ads is really going to be the key to help with, cart abandonment or things like that, where maybe someone isn't quite getting to purchase, but they're doing other things. Best creative ads I've seen recently. Oh, that's a great question. I've been really inspired by a lot of the beauty brands that are currently running advertising. I think they just are really taking advantage of the Facebook platforms and the Instagram platforms and the way that people are looking to use use the platforms. And so I'm always a fan of Glossier. I know that I probably shouldn't call it a specific brand, but I love the way that they have that consistent brand visual identity, and that no matter whether I'm seeing something in an ad or I'm seeing something on organic or wherever I am on Instagram or Facebook, I can see it and know that it's theirs. And I think in a sea of competition right now, the more that you can have that consistent brand identity and stand out is just really exciting. And so I love what they're doing. I also, this isn't a traditional e-commerce client, but Roman, they are actually a healthcare company. They've been doing some really visually interesting creative for a category that typically hasn't been doing as much in the not experimental, but more platform specific creative. And I think that they do a really great job. So one of the questions I just got is there an integration that is required to work with Shopify? So if you would like to work with Shopify, you will need to set up obviously a relationship with them. But once you do, you can set up a relationship between the Facebook and Shopify platforms, not only for catalog management, but also for conversions API integration. So being able to send back more of those signals. As long as you have the Facebook channel set up, you should be able to make sure that those signals are getting passed back and forth. And if you have issues, I would always start with the Shopify side of the house because it is going to be a third-party integration that's theirs. But you should also be able to reach out to chat support once you've gone through the Shopify side if there's still something that's seeming a little off on our end as well. All right, I think covered all of this. The one question also is sharing the presentation. So all of this information is actually available on our Facebook for Business portal. We have a ton of resources about discovery commerce, about the different ways you can activate against it, about our different shopping solutions. So please be sure to go in and take a look. Do a little bit of digging for yourself. And I know that we're also putting together blueprint courses so that you can really get a deeper education than what I just briefly took you through. So definitely take a look at those resources available in our Facebook for Business Hub.